ask you to gently bring yourselves back into your full body. Feel your feet on the floor, your back against the chair, and service will begin in a moment.
Good morning all. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. If you would, page 227 in your Wings of Song, or the words will be up here, and I'm pretty sure that you know the melody to this one. It's been around since the 1860s. I think we'll get this one. So Scott, if you would give me the last line, and then... Mine eyes have seen the coming of an age that is
I'm ready now. Good morning. Unity Spiritual Center, to all these lovely faces in front of me here in the sanctuary, and also to all of you online listening to this service. We are a center that we have in our hearts our mission, which is transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in this world. And that's very close to all of our hearts. I'm Sally Sledge. I get to be the platform assistant today. And this is the time for all of you to take out the cell phone, and there's that little lever on the side, upper left. Please silence your cell phone for the time of the service. As always, we want to begin our service by sharing our opening affirmation. And we usually have me say it or the platform assistant say it once and then people repeating, but I think we should say it all together today. So, repeat it with me, please. There is one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good. And doesn't that just feel good to all of us? It's Unity's foundation principle: one presence, one power, one life, living through and as each one of us. So today is really, I'm going off script here, just a touch. Today is a great day, as are all Sundays, but especially today, to honor our ministers. Not only our current minister, Reverend Bonnie, but we have with us today Reverend David, who will be speaking, and his wife, Reverend Donna. Also, we have today a former minister, Claire Austin. Claire, where are you? And her husband, Rick Hutchins, and they have moved back to Spokane, and we're all trying to take credit for that. So our Reverend David McClure will be talking today on the relentless stream of truth. And Amy Ujala, did I pronounce that correctly? Amy Ujala will be leading our time of meditation. And of course, Pamela Benton, right over here, violinist and guitarist and singer extraordinaire, is providing special music with a little help from some friends. Welcome, all of you. And of course, our Scott Jameson on piano. It's great. It's a great morning. Now, please welcome our chaplain, Cheryl, who will be doing our reading and opening prayer.
This week's reading is taken from the book Breaking the 10 Commandments, Discover the Deeper Meaning by Dr. Eric Butterworth. Jesus put it succinctly: But seek first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all these things will be yours as well. Matthew 6:33. It is but another way of saying, step into the flow of the divine process and create conditions within your own mind that will make the outward manifestation inevitable. Turn from the goals of getting and having to the ideal of giving and being. Our education is never complete until we really understand the law of consciousness. Whatever happens to us, whatever happens around us, will be in accord with that which is within us. Our own state of mind, and whatever is in your consciousness must happen, no matter who may try to stop it. On the other hand, what is not in your consciousness can't happen. Of course, you can change your consciousness, and that is what this new insight about truth is all about. As we pray, please join me in making this prayer your own. Sitting in the midst of my beloved community, I am aware of the divine presence of original tenderness, the one, the all. I take a moment to focus on that source, the good, in the forefront of my mind. I turn my attention to the quiet sanctuary within, to look behind swirling thoughts and chronic agendas. I enter into this silent space, allowing myself an opportunity to be refreshed and renewed. In this sacred place, I thank my soul for its guidance in bringing me here this morning. I know in advance that there is something in the talk, something in the music, and something in the shared field of all potential that is specifically for me. I allow myself to receive this holy gift of awareness. I trust that Spirit has designed the perfect service this morning for each of us. I bless the music, the speaker, Reverend David McClure, the platform assistant, Sally Sledge, the children in the building, the teachers right now who are shining love upon their souls, the souls we serve. And I bless those who sit around me. Love has orchestrated this morning. I am awake to this and grateful. I embrace all of this good and allow it to express through me magnified. I give thanks, and so it is. Amen.
There's a song for you right now by Loggins and Messina. Here we are. This is called Watching the River Run. If you've been thinking you're all that you got, then don't feel alone anymore. 'Cause when we're together, you've got a lot. 'Cause I am the river and you are the shore. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run. Winding and swirling and dancing along, we pass by the old willow tree, where friends are close and we sing our song, rejoicing together we greet the sea. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run. And it goes on and on, watching the river run, further and further from things that we've done, leaving them one by one. And we have just begun, watching the river run, listening and learning and yearning, listening and learning and yearning, listening and learning and yearning to run, river, run.
Emma, how sweet it is to be back working with you and doing a gig together. That's really great.
It's been many years, hasn't
It's been a while. Been a while. The river has run quite a bit since. By the way, Pamela brought some of her CDs here. Her latest one is called Give Me Wings, and I know she'd be happy to autograph a copy for you if you're into that sort of thing. Good morning, Spokane. Good morning. How good to see you all again. Oh my God, this is great. Fantastic. Fantastic. One Sunday at church, the preacher was standing at the pulpit preaching his sermon, and after speaking for about 10 minutes, he stopped and he said this. He said, "You know, if I had all the beer in the world, you know what I would do with that beer? I'd throw it in the river." Then he went and talked some more, and a little later he said, "But then if I had all the wine in the world, I'd throw that in the river too." And after that, the statement he made a little later in his sermon was this: "And furthermore, if I had all the whiskey in the world, I'd throw that in the river as well." He talked for a few more minutes and then sat down, and then the choir director stood up and with a sheepish smile on his face said, "Now, The congregation will join in please singing together hymn number 134, Let's All Gather at the River. Well, this morning I invite you to join me at the river. I know we live in River City, but the river that I'm talking about today is the relentless stream of truth. I don't know if you know this, but this river you know very well, the relentless stream of truth. Because this river is what brought you in the sanctuary this morning. This river brought you here. It picked you up and carried you in its currents so that you could be here at this time, including the folks who are watching at home. It has been flowing in and through you and through your life since you arrived here on the planet, and for all I know, even before that. The term relentless stream of truth was first introduced to me by the great Unity minister, Reverend Eric Butterworth. Several weeks ago, Bonnie called me and asked me if I would speak today on Eric Butterworth, who was a good friend and a fellow Unitic, and I said, sure, I'd be happy to talk about a man I admire and appreciate and honor so very much. He refers to this restless stream of truth in his very first book, which was, and by the way, here's a picture of him. There we are. This is going to be a long slideshow as well. I've got a lot of slides here today. Anyway, he says this, the word relentless means constant and incessant. And he writes, there has been a constant and incessant stream of dynamic spiritual ideas and energy that continues to stream in and through you and me every day and every night, 24/7, and it never stops. He goes on to say that this relentless stream of truth is cosmic energy. He says, just as a farmer digging a ditch opens up a channel for water to flow to the crops, so we remove all the obstacles there are to this incessant and relentless flow of cosmic energy in and through our very being. And of all the people I have known in my life, no one has opened my heart and my mind to the cosmic energy more than Eric Butterworth. It was Eric Butterworth who said, don't go through life, grow through life. It was Eric Butterworth who said, things may happen around you, things may happen to you, but the only thing that really matters are the things that happen in you. And it was Eric Butterworth who said, the whole universe is on your side. Life is forever biased on the side of healing, on the side of overcoming, on the side of success. When you get yourself centered in the universal flow, you become synchronized with this divine bias for good. And so many, many other incredible ideas and thoughts came from the writings and from the speeches of Eric Butterworth. I've known Eric for many years. He's a fellow Canadian, and I was in YOU way back when with his two sons when they were in YOU at that same time. And later I was privileged to serve with him in various administrative capacities in what was known back then as the Association of Unity Churches and what we know today as Unity Worldwide. We just had that great visit from the CEO of Unity Worldwide, Reverend Shad Groverland. And although I'd never met Shad before, I knew his father, Jack, and Jack was a good friend of Eric Butterworth as well. Now, some of you may know this. I am currently in the process of writing a book. Yes, I am. I'm writing it. I don't know if it'll sell, but I'm writing it. And it's about the relentless stream of truth. And this relentless stream has impacted my life and Donna's life for a long, long time, and we'll tell you just how long as I go along here. And I mention Eric in my book because he is considered among the leading spokespersons in modern times about unity, on the unity subject and what we loosely call the truth movement. He is considered a legend, a spiritual icon among his fellow unitics. He's the author of 16 best-selling books on metaphysical spirituality. He is a gifted theologian, philosopher, and lecturer, and for over 50 years he has been the premier teacher of practical Christianity, helping thousands of people to help themselves to a more abundant life by the study and application of truth principles. You may be familiar with some of his books: Discover the Power Within Me, Spiritual Economics, and In the Flow of Life. And I checked the library just before the service today, and we have 6 or 7 copies of his books, should you feel led and inspired to read some more on him. He possesses a unique quality, this man, to render the most complex metaphysical teachings in simple sound bites of awareness. He is often described as the 20th century Ralph Waldo Emerson. And among his accomplishments, Eric holds the unique distinction of being the only unity minister to appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And she told her audience, her national audience, that Eric's book, Discover the Power Within Me, or Within You, had literally changed her life and opened a new channel of understanding for her and compassion that she had never felt before. And so here we are, this relentless stream of truth running free and in and through Oprah and all the millions of people that she has touched over the years. Some of you may remember a talk that I gave some months ago here called How do you get to Carnegie Hall? And we all know the joke about that: practice, practice, practice. Well, in that talk I shared that Eric had invited me to come to New York City, where he was ministering at that particular time, and to fill in for him one Sunday when he was on vacation. And he was conducting services at that time in Carnegie Hall. And so I had the opportunity and the great privilege of speaking in that hallowed place. Before he preached at Carnegie Hall, there was a gentleman who preached prior to him by the name of Emmett Fox. You may have heard that name before. He ministered there, and so that relentless stream ran right through Carnegie Hall and all of the great performers who have ever performed there. And it was my Aunt Hazel, this is where it really gets interesting. She followed the stream of Emmett Fox by showing up at Carnegie Hall one Sunday and taking shorthand notes of his talk, going home, typing them up, and sending them to my mother in Toronto, Ontario. And because of that, my mother dragged me up 3 flights of stairs at the age of 6 to attend unity services at the Unity Church of Truth in Toronto. And that church was one of 22 churches of truth founded by a gentleman by the name of Dr. Albert Greer, with the first of these unity churches, or it wasn't Unity Church then, it was just Church of Truth. The first of the churches of truth was right here in River City in Spokane, Washington, back in 1913, just down the street here at 6th and Tracy. And, oh, is that right? Jefferson's. Thank you, Donna. She was here before I was. She knows that. Oh, 9th and Tracy somewhere else. That's another story. By the way, Dr. Albert Greer knew Emmett Fox in New York. Do you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. The connections that are made. But wait, there's more. It was my dear wife, Donna's great-grandfather. Here's a picture of, oh, that's Oprah, I forgot. Meanwhile, who knows, they may have met. There it is. This is Donna's great-grandfather, Harry Dorman, worked with Dr. Albert Greer at Church of Truth. And Donna's grandmother, Inez Struble, worked with Irma Wells at Church of Truth. And it was Donna's mother, Almeda Campbell, who was president of the board of directors here for many years here in this church when I first came here. And so this stream of truth remains relentless. Butterworth writes more about the relentless stream of truth. He says, the relentless stream of truth has known no boundaries. It has flowed through the minds and hearts of both people of the church and people unchurched alike. We can find evidence of this relentless stream of truth in the thinking of, there he is, Plato, and Socrates, and Aristotle. Come on, Aristotle, come up here. Where'd he go? There he is, Aristotle. And others of the Greek philosophers. We, of course, can find evidence of this through the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, who turned this stream into a rushing torrent of life and healing and transformation. We find it in St. Augustine. We find it in St. Francis, Thomas Aquinas, Meister Eckhart, and others among religious leaders. We find it in Galileo. We find it in Copernicus and Newton and Einstein and others in the field of science. We find it in Hegel and Kant and Schopenhauer and others of the modern philosophers. And we find it singing through the words of the poets, the essayists like Shakespeare and Browning, Tennyson, Carlyle, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. And whether you know it or not, we find it flowing through this room right now. That relentless stream of truth is what brought you here. So the question that I was asking myself, and I have been asking myself in the book that I'm writing, is how far back does this stream go? How far back does it go? And I'm now of the opinion that this stream was flowing before any human touched this earth or touched foot on this earth. It was here before we got here. A few years ago, I was called to, by this relentless stream of truth, to go to Australia and to develop ministries in the land down under. And during that time, I developed Unity Ministries in Sydney and Melbourne and Brisbane, as well as a couple in New Zealand. And after I'd been in Sydney for a while and been working pretty hard, I decided to take a few days off and go do some sightseeing. And I'd heard of a place at the center of the continent that was called Ayers Rock. Some of you may have heard that. And there's a picture of it. The Aboriginals who first inhabited this place called it Uluru. And Uluru is a massive sandstone monolith in the heart of the Northern Territory, in what's called the Red Centre of Australia. The nearest large town is Alice Springs, which is about 450 kilometers away. Now, Uluru is sacred to Indigenous Australians and is thought to have started forming around 550 million years ago. While I was there, I decided to take a tour of some of the caves that are near the rock. The caves are mostly of this kind. They're what's called a wind cave, which is typically shallow with overhanging rocks, shelters which were used by the Australian Aborigines. The caves are cool and provide shadow and sometimes have springs or leftover rain. Last time it rained out there. Many of these caves at Uluru have cave paintings that were done by the Aborigines. Interesting, this particular picture illustrated to me that the Aborigines were the first treasure mappers, because they'd go and they'd paint animals on the cave, and then they'd go out and hunt them down for dinner. And so they actually visualized it first before they went and found guidance to where to go to take care of the food needs of their family. But I noticed something else on the walls of these caves. There were an abundance of paintings of nothing more than this, which are concentric circles. They were everywhere. Everywhere I looked, and I was so curious, I asked the guide, what do these circles mean? What do they stand for? And he said, oh, well, that's the Aboriginal sign for God. The Aboriginals, he said, always put God first. I remember being just blown away by these thoughts and these words, but I went on with my trip, and while I was out in the center of Australia, I went to visit the folks in Alice Springs. And I must admit, I was skeptical about finding any springs in Alice Springs, because it's dry out there. But nevertheless, they hold a regatta every year at Alice Springs, and here they are having boat races in the dry riverbed there. And it's called the Henley-on-Todd Regatta, and it's held every year, and it's quite famous. They think there's water there, and maybe there is at certain times of year, but rain or shine, they have the races. So this book that I'm now writing, I started to write it about 8 years ago in Spokane after being diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic melanoma and given 2 to 3 months to live. But after a year and them finding no more cancer in me, I felt as though I could write about that in a book. And so I started to write this experience of my healing. But after writing a few drafts of the book, I knew that I was not quite ready yet to write this particular book. But today I am ready, and the book is now in the hands of my editor. And so we'll see what comes from it from there, but it's on the way. In the writing of this book, which basically deals with Donna's and my involvement with this organization called Unity, I began to trace back our roots, both physical and spiritual, to the origins of our introduction to this thing called truth. You know, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Something that I've always felt about this building that we're in right now is that when you come in this front door, here's the door out here, you come in one of two ways. You are either pushed in here or you are pulled in here. You are either pushed in or pulled in. You may have been pushed in the door by some personal problem in your life, some personal need that you had, a healing, probably maybe a prosperity problem, or you were depressed or lonely or needed some direction in your life. Something pushed you in the door. Or you were yanked in the door because of a desire to find a new way of living. A new way, there's got to be a better way to life, and I'm determined to find it. And so you were drawn in this door to find a new attitude, a new foundation on which to base your reason for being. You sensed there was a light in here, and you wanted to be in that light. And so here you are this morning. And so we could say that what truly brought you here is this relentless stream of truth. We could say that all those people that Eric Butterworth mentioned brought you here. We could say that Eric himself brought you here. We could say that Jesus brought you here. We could say that this guy, Phineas Parkhurst Quimby, brought you here. We could say that Emma Curtis Hopkins brought you here. Maybe you are here because of Emma Curtis Hopkins. We could say that Mary Baker Eddy brought you here, or Ernest Holmes brought you here, or these two, oh, there's Ernest, don't forget Ernest. And maybe these two people brought you here, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founders of Unity. Maybe you're here because of Emmett Fox. I know I am, to a great extent. Or Albert Greer, there is Big Al. And maybe you are here because of former ministers of this church, Phil and Mary Stovin. Or maybe it was their daughter, Sherry. And Sherry's in the back row back there. I can't quite see her, but she's back there. I know she brought me into this church because I was ministering in San Francisco. I got a call one morning, and it was Sherry on the phone, and she said, "Would you like to come up and try it in Spokane?" And I said, "Sure." And so I came up and tried and got the job here in Spokane in 1975. I mentioned that I met Eric Butterworth's kids when I was in YOU, and I attended several YOU conferences at Unity Village as a teenager. But there was another truth seeker in those YOU conferences, and that was Sherry Barnard. She was there as well at that particular time. It really gets crazy, all the connections that are made here. Or maybe it was Sherry's late husband, Kim, who brought you here into this place. That door that I just showed you, he put it up. He designed this place. He designed the building. And he put the door back on, or put it on for the first time back in 1974. Well, maybe it was Wayne Dyer who brought you here. Or maybe it was Scott Sherman. Or maybe it was this guy. Or maybe it was Jackie Green. Or maybe it was this lady. Or maybe it was this lady who brought you in here. And I can't mention everybody. Maybe it was Jim Rosemergy, maybe it was David MacArthur, maybe it was Thora and Weaver Hess, and the list goes on and on and on of the people who have brought us here. And maybe it was these folks. Yeah, maybe it was them. And then, last but not least, and of course, the truth gets truthier when Bonnie is here. It's getting even more truthy as we move along here. But also, you are here because of the Australian Aborigine. 60,000 years they've been on this planet. and they're drawing concentric circles. The relentless stream of truth. And this stream of truth has no beginning, it has no end, it just keeps rolling along. And you and I can't help ourselves. We're caught up in the current, we're caught up in it. And as we open our minds and our hearts to the rest of the teachings of truth that will be coming through those doors and in this room over the days ahead, that will emanate from this pulpit, from a class that you will take, a book that you will read. Soon we'll be passing this cosmic energy on to the people that we know in our lives, to anyone and everyone we come in contact with, and soon we'll be fulfilling the great mission statement of this ministry, transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in the world. So, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream that makes you and I eternal channels, and may it continue to flow in and through your life and in and through everybody you know. Thank you. God bless. I'm going to invite Amy to come up and join me now, and we're going to share a little meditation experience together. Amy's going to be doing some of this amazing magic with the bulls in concert coming up pretty soon. But she's here this morning to share with us. And she asked me what I was going to meditate on this morning, and I told her, and she said, that's exactly what I was going to be thinking about this morning, so we're in sync. And it's about something that happens to me, and maybe it happens to you, and that is the difficult thing we all have to do is get out of our minds. Do you know what I mean? To get out of your mind, because your mind is where problems exist and where problems happen. And often we think our mind is all we are. And there's so much more. So Amy, if you would like to just start us off here. We're going to get out of our minds. I'm finding more and more that I'm finally yielding to the idea that there is another part of me that I tend to visit once in a blue moon and often forget it's there. But it's always there, awaiting my return, awaiting my awareness. And that is my heart. And my heart says, okay, David, drop what you're holding on to, what you're grasping so tightly. Get out of your mind and into your heart. You may want to put your hand on your heart right now. It so very much wants your attention, your interest, your love. The beat of your heart is part of that relentless stream of truth that's flowing to every cell and organ, vein, every part of your body, this stream. And your heart is home. Your heart is who you are, the truth of who you are. And it patiently waits for you while you struggle in your mind with this and that, trying to make sense of life, trying to figure out what happens next. Book of Proverbs, we read the words, "Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." So when we leave here today, we do not leave the relentless stream of truth. We simply are carried by that stream back out into our world. But let the heart have its way with you. Let your heart be not troubled, neither be afraid, but trust. We give thanks that this heart of yours is alive, well, and loving you right now, wherever you go, and whatever you do in the stream of life. And so it is. Amen.
I'd hate to break that beautiful sound. It's so pretty. We've got something a little bit fun for you. So I don't know if some of you know this already, but I'm a teacher as well as a musician, and I've taught Jim and Sally sledge for a few years now. And Sally came up with this idea, so we're going to do that for you. So I'm going to have Sally come up and join me on this song. It's an Irish jig. There we go. All right. Pretty close. Okay. Ready to fire this puppy up? Yep. So this is a song that Sally picked to play for you guys. Here we go. Ready? Too slow? Okay, here we go.
Thank you, guys. That was great. That was beautiful. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. It says on the order of service that Reverend Bonnie's supposed to do the offering, but she said I could do it this morning. So I could go crazy with doing the offering. You know, another word for money is currency. And that's the only way that money is any good, is if it is flowing. It's no good in your sock under the pillow or under the bed. It's no good sitting in the bank all by itself. It's only good when it is flowing in and through your life. And so we have that opportunity to share our gift for this ministry and for the relentless stream of truth. Do you want to see the relentless stream of truth keep flowing in here? Then this is the way it comes about. You can text a dollar amount. The information is on the screen for you. Bonnie left me some of these wonderful cards if you need to remind yourself of how you are to give if you are an automatic giver. Or you may simply want to circulate here in the congregation right now. So let's bless our offering and our tithe. Is there an affirmation that we're supposed to be using? There it is. Okay. Let's affirm this together. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. And so it is.
gotta give Pamela a shout out. I sprung this on her about 10 minutes before the service this morning.
It's a beautiful piece.
Very nice.
Bless these gifts, and may they circulate and flow and never stop flowing. God bless you.
My. Pamela Benton, Scott Jameson, another round. And the truth is, I've been practicing for 3 months to be able to keep up with her on that. Here's my favorite part, one of my favorite parts of this service. Please join me in saying these words. Unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. So, whoever you are and wherever you are on your individual spiritual journey of transformation, you're welcome here. You're very welcome here. Is there anyone here who would like to raise their hand and say that they're new here? You do get a free coffee beverage of your choice. Truth now. We're talking about relentless stream of truth. Pretty good connection, huh? That's right. So we're all seasoned souls here. Welcome to anyone who is new, didn't raise a hand, or anyone looking online who's new to Unity. We're a great place here. For those of you who want to stay connected on social media, we're hip. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. And thank you for joining today. Chaplains today are Murphy and Cheryl, who gave our prayer early on. They will be available to pray with you immediately after the service. So if you have something that's heavy on your heart or something joyful you want to share, please talk to either Murphy or Cheryl, and we thank you both for your service. And for all of you, anyone who's in need of prayer, if you look in the seat pockets in front of you, there's little prayer request forms. Prayer is one of the major foundations of Unity Spiritual Center. So take one of those forms, fill out your prayer request. It goes into there's a box right up here with a little slot on the top, also one in the atrium, and they will be prayed on here by our team of chaplains as well as at Silent Unity. So now there's Amber McKenzie doing news we can use.
You know it.
You betcha.
Good morning, everyone. Ooh, sorry. So first, everybody has a program, I hope. If you don't, we've got some extras maybe. On the back of that program, you'll see some upcoming events and updates. We're not going to share everything up here, so please do take a look at that. But first, I want to bring up Gay Ribble. She is going to talk about our upcoming fundraiser concert. Gay, take it away.
Oh, a little applause. That was good. Thank you. So to keep with our theme, the truth is that love is all around. And a great way to celebrate love is through music. So we have an event that's going to be coming up on February 11th, Saturday night, 7 p.m., and it's Heather Vila and her band. This is going to be such a fun event. It's going to feel like a party. We're going to be, I feel like we're going to be standing up and dancing around. because her music is this vintage 20s to 80s. It's jazz, it's blues, it's swing. It's a little bit for everyone. So I hope that if you have not gotten your tickets yet, Dave and I will be out there and you can get them today. Or if you have your tickets and you can think of some friends and family that you might want to bring to share that joy, that love, please let us know. You can always use the QR code. You can go on to our Unity site, pick that up at any time, or just call Dave and I and we will hand you your tickets. So I hope we see you all there. Love you all.
Thank you, Gay. Next up, we have our governing membership renewal. Today is the last Sunday, everybody. It's last Sunday. It's your deadline. So, yep, Jan did hers. So we've got about 78 renewals. We're looking for a few more. So please see Al after services. He's going to be at a table back here. Yep, Al will be there, and you can sign up there, or it's not through eNews. You would have received an email, but if you have any questions or you're not sure how to do it, please come see me, email me, or see Al after services, and he will help you. So today is that last Sunday. The deadline is January 31st, so we hope everybody does that before then. And then we have our first, oh, can you go back, Caleb? I have one more thing up there. Our first visioning session with Reverend Bonnie is today after services. So that is from 11:30 to 12:30. Guess what? It's going to be really cool because Amy Ujala, who you all experienced our meditation with, will also be leading us through a visioning meditation as part of that process with the sound bowls. So we really encourage you to join us after services for that visioning with Reverend Bonnie. And again, that's from 11:30 to 12:30 today. So we hope to see you there. Okay, speaking of Amy Ujala and her amazing sound bowls, she will be doing a crystal alchemy sound bath on Saturday, February 4th. So that's this next Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here in the sanctuary. It's a really amazing, I almost said adventure, which it is. It's a sound adventure, right? And it's got healing. It's really amazing and powerful. So it's only $25, which is amazing. So please sign up for that. I can help you after services. Again, it's through eNews, but we'd love to get all of you there. It really is an amazing and transformational experience. So we hope to see you at her next sound healing. She will be doing that the first Saturday of every month. So just keep that in mind. But we hope to see you this Saturday for that. Next, I'm going to ask Hank to come on up. He's got an announcement about the choir. Come on up, Hank.
Actually, there's 3 of us.
Oh, 3 of us. Hank, Al, and who else? Janice. Woo! All of them, the whole team. Come on up.
So as many of you know, about 3 weeks ago or so, our music director and choir director resigned and left. And that left us this big void back to ground zero. And so Al stepped into that void and said, I'm not going to let the choir stop. I'm going to direct it. We're going to keep it going. And he did. He stepped up. And then he asked for help. So then Janice and I stepped up to help him. So I'm introducing to you your choir directing team standing right in front of you right here, right now. And I'm doing this because I just want to invite the people who are in choir before her left to come back. We're doing regular songs now. We're 4-part harmony, and we're learning music, and we're having a good time. That's about all I have time to say. So Al, you're next.
So basically what I'd like to say is, guys especially, we had a piece that was set up to be done in February, and I looked around last week and realized we did not have enough male voices to pull it off. We did not have the resources. So please, if you are called at all to sing, come on Thursday, 7 p.m. I really need some guys.
Yeah. Janice, go ahead.
Wow. Okay, well, there's the pitch for the guys. Here's the pitch for the gals. On Tuesday nights, I have a women's ensemble, an opportunity to sing. We have some beautiful music, and we're hoping today to get ourselves on the schedule. I have ideas for things that we can contribute. And so if you are looking for an opportunity to sing, please do come and join us. We're doing a lot of a cappella, some things with some djembe and drums, and some with piano and beautiful music. And we will be singing on the Easter morning sunrise service. So please come and join us.
A couple more things. I just wanted to say, I forgot to say, if you would like to sing, please come and join us. People, if you feel, oh no, I can sing, come and we'll help you learn how to sing. It's open, we have an open window right now. We actually are going to perform 3 weeks from today is the first time we perform. So, and it's going to be, I'm going to say the name and you're all going to say, it's called Rain Down. Anybody remember that? So anyway, it's a wonderful song. It's a congregational song. So please come back and join us. And we're keeping the fire going until not going, but expanding so we can draw to us a perfect new permanent music director and choir director. Thank you.
So I think it's time for our kids. Welcome to all of our children, both big and small, and to all of our children's teachers. Let's give our blessing to them. Get your hands warm. Be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And the same for us. Be the love we are. Sing the song we hear. Share our joy of life with people far and near. And now for the kiddos, please go to the people in the audience that you came with. And please stand as we're going to join together for our prayer of protection, followed by a new rockin' version of the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.
And I really mean it.